Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to make my comforting chicken enchiladas. This is a go-to for anyone who just had a baby or people that are sick. This is the meal that I take them. So now you'll know my secret recipe. So I start by spraying my pan with, I just have this avocado oil spray. And make sure you preheat your oven to 375. And then I'm just gonna take these chicken breasts, and I'm making a double batch today. So I usually use 3 chicken breasts per batch. So I'm going to cook 6 of these. So you get them in there. You can do it every other way so that they fit better in the pan. Squeeze these in here. Okay. We're gonna bake these at 375 for about 45 minutes. Until the internal temperature reaches 160. I normally do not check the temperature when I cook them. I can normally just tell when they're done. If you cut one in half, it's not pink in the middle anymore, and that's how you can normally tell when they're done. But we'll cook that and check them after about 45 minutes, because depending on the size, it'll vary how long it takes them to cook for. In the meantime, we are going to chop 1 onion. I usually use half an onion per batch, so since I'm doubling it, I'm gonna use a whole onion. I don't use a whole lot of onion just because, like I said, I take it for new moms, and onions can tend to affect if they're breastfeeding, so we're gonna chop this onion up. After you have your onion chopped, you're gonna wanna preheat a pan to about medium heat, and then you're just gonna do about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. Let that get nice and hot. You're gonna wanna use a pretty deep pan because you're gonna end up putting the chicken in here too. Okay, so once that's preheated, you're gonna take your onion and you're gonna saute it right in the pan. Okay, once your onions are looking translucent and you've sauteed them for about 5 minutes, you're gonna take a can of chopped green chilies. This is the brand I use, but you can use any brand. This is 4.5 ounces. You just add that right to the onion. And I'm going to use 2 cans because, like I said, I'm making double. I am taking some to a family member, and then we are also going to have these for dinner. You're just going to saute that together. And then I have ground cumin, and we're going to add, if you were just doing 1 batch, it would be 1 teaspoon, but since I'm doubling, we're going to do 2 teaspoons. And then I also have chili powder here. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of that as well. Stir that up. I do not put any salt or pepper on my chicken when it's cooking, just because I feel like there's enough salt in this dish that I don't need to add it to the chicken while it's cooking. So I'm just going to put about a teaspoon or two of my Himalayan pink sea salt in there, and then also a few grinds of black pepper, and you can do this to taste. Stir that up. And then, this is what makes it good, guys. I use Neufchâtel cheese, so it's like cream cheese, but it's a third less fat. I'm always looking at ways to make my dishes healthier and not as fattening. So we're gonna do you would just do one. I'm gonna do two blocks of the Neufchâtel cheese. This makes them nice and creamy. Okay, so once your Neufchâtel cheese is melted in here, you're going to add 1 cup. I'm going to add 2, unless you want to make a double batch. So 2 cups of shredded. You can use any kind of cheddar cheese. I like the mild cheddar. I get the one already grated simply because it saves on time. You're just gonna mix that all together. Chicken is done baking. I pulled it out after 45 minutes and it is done. I did check the temperature this time. Now I did let it rest for a couple minutes just to let it finish cooking, because it will continue to cook a little bit after you take it out of the oven. And then when it is cooled down, you're just gonna take 2 forks and shred it up. I keep it right in the pan because it soaks back up any juices that came out of it, and just better that way. So I just want to show you guys real quick. This is what the outside of the chicken looks like when it's done, and then I cut this one in half, and you can see here there's no pink and it cuts really easily. So I usually don't use a thermometer to know that it's done. I can just tell just because I've been cooking for so long, but just a little tidbit for you. For all of you pet lovers out there, I also don't salt and pepper my chicken because my little furry friend Sadie here likes to enjoy some chicken herself. There you go, Sadie. Is that good? She's my taste tester. Guys, so once you have your chicken all shredded and soaked back up all your juices, make sure I forgot to mention this, keep your oven on, set it at 350 because that's what you're gonna bake these at. Okay, so I am just gonna dump my chicken right into my cream cheese mixture, Neufchâtel mixture. And then, should we get all that chicken in there? And then this is why I said you're gonna want to make sure your pan is pretty big, because you're gonna mix all this together. Mix the chicken and cheese together. Are the carb balance tortillas that I use. They only have 4 grams of net carbs. They're much less calories. They're 70 calories per 1 tortilla. I love them. They taste just as good as the regular ones, and this is what I use for my chicken enchilada recipe. Okay, so you're gonna you're gonna spray your pan. This is to take to a family member, so I use to-go pans. It's just easier. They can throw them out. They don't have to worry about getting the pan back to me. So I'm just gonna spray this with my avocado oil spray so it doesn't stick as much. And then I always, so this is the enchilada sauce I use, red enchilada sauce, Old El Paso. This is a 19-ounce can. So I'm gonna pour a little bit in the bottom of the pan just to get a very light coating. It's probably about 1/4 to 1/2 cup. All right, then you're gonna take your tortilla and this is what your chicken mixture looks like once it's all mixed together. And you're gonna take a little bit, maybe a little more, just enough to put in the middle of your tortilla. And then you're gonna roll it up. And stick it in the pan. Okay, so once you have them all rolled up and in your pan, I'm gonna take more of this enchilada sauce and I'm just gonna pour it over the top of them. It's kind of up to you how much you want to use. I probably won't use this whole can. I don't like them to get too soggy. I find that if you put too much on, they get too soggy. So. And then when you have your enchilada sauce on, you're gonna take the rest of your cheddar cheese and sprinkle it all over the top. And then once you have that, I do not put a lid on these. I just pop them in the oven like this, and we're gonna bake them at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. Here we have our final product of our baked chicken enchiladas. So I hope you guys enjoy.